Everybody, it's so important and so meaningful to us that you give us your time. I know how valuable time is because there's never enough of it, and we all know that. So thank you so much. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director at 10 Minute Trades, and our presentation is how to trade safely in unsafe markets, which is pretty appropriate for these markets today. The markets are scary. Everybody is worried. Our 10-year anniversary, which is unbelievable to even consider that a company could be in business for 10 years. You'd think I could have gotten a better suit than the one I'm wearing in that picture. That suit is really not good. I probably will get a better one for the 20th year anniversary. And I really want to thank everybody. I can't believe that I've been with the company for 6 years now. And of course, it's the usual disclaimer. All the trades we discuss, everything we're discussing is for educational purposes. Be careful trading. You can lose money that you don't expect to lose. So understand the risk and just be smart about how you spend your money. So our company, 10 Minute Trades, we do what's called appointment-based trading. It's a time-based approach to the market. We don't sit in front of our computer for hours and hours at a time. We trade on a schedule, and it's the greatest way to trade, in my opinion. And I'm going to show you some recent trades that we took. We still, believe it or not, even in these difficult markets, we have family money trades. Those are trades that we got started by recommending the trade if we would trade it with our family's money, and we still have those trades. And I say still because the markets have been difficult. Everybody knows that these markets are tough. And what's great, I think that what's fantastic about us is if you go back 10 years, we still use the same major economic event calendars to backtest and find our trades. You can go back and we're still trading the same way. And I say the same but different. And what that means is we don't jump into the latest, greatest fad. We don't jump into, the next great thing, but we're constantly honing and improving the way that we trade. And of course, we've got more and more different methods of trading than what we had 6 years ago. And of course, we don't do things exactly the same as we did them 6 years ago, but our DNA is time-based, appointment-based trading. We look at a calendar, we find the events that we want to trade, and that's the basic scenario that we do so we don't have to sit in front of our computers 18 hours a day waiting for setups that don't always take place. Our setups are based on trade triggers, events on the calendar that have the highest probability of moving the market. And thus that gives them the highest probability of resulting in a successful trade. So I'm always saying these things in the trade room because I'm the trade room moderator. I'm the guy that you deal with when you join our company and become a member. You're going to be talking to me in our trade room. And I'm always saying over and over, I want to trade this report or this market moving event if it gives me an opportunity to make a profit. So that's the most important thing that we do. And these are the basic keys to our system. Number one is you want to start with our free weekly schedule. Our weekly schedule is a listing of the events in the upcoming week that we feel are going to move the markets this week. Okay, so that schedule comes out on Sunday. If you'd like to get our free weekly schedule, we would love for you to sign up for it. Go to our website, just www.10minutetrades.com, the number 10, www.10minutetrades.com, and sign up for the video, how to find 10-minute trades, and we'll send you our free weekly schedule. That's it. We're not going to charge you. It's free, for real, and we'll send it to you every Sunday. So definitely do that. Even if you don't trade news events, it's a good idea to know what the important news events are in the upcoming week. So if you're in the market, You don't get blown out of a trade because you didn't remember that US retail news was coming out at the moment after you entered the market for your own personal trade. So you want to know what these events are. If you're trading oil, you want to know when the Wednesday oil report, which comes out, you want to know about the weekly Wednesday oil report. Every Wednesday, 10:30, they release the oil storage numbers, and that moves the oil index. Okay, we trade futures, we trade on the Ninja Trader platform. That's what we do. Okay, so very important also to know what you're trading. You know, we're not doing options, we're not doing stocks, we're trading futures using the Ninja Trader platform. So start with our free weekly schedule. We would love for you to get it. www.10minutetrades.com. And I just showed you a weekly schedule. So let me go over it real quickly for you. So if you look at it, we have a full week on it. On the left, the time of the trigger event, that's the event itself. The gold open is one of the events that we trade every day now. And our trade room opens. We show the time that our trade room opens. If you want to be a trade room member, we show the index that we're trading. Also, if we have a daily trade report for this particular event, many of our events have a daily trade report. I'll get into that. We have a weekly stream. We stream once a week. Usually we try to take the best, most interesting, most exciting, most potentially profitable event, and we make that our stream of the week. Okay, and that is on YouTube, and that is free also. We give a lot of information away because that's what we've always done, and we're just a really nice company. Like I said, I've been here for 6 years. I don't have to work here. I can work anywhere, and I like working here because we're nice people, and the people I work for are very nice, and that's important to me. Our number 2 element, what's the second thing that makes everything very important? Yes, the times are Eastern time on the schedule, Jeff. It is Eastern time. Our second element, that's a very important part of our system, is the daily market mover. The daily market mover is when an event has a daily trade report. We represent that trade report in what we call the daily market mover. And it's a report that we send out to our members the day before the event takes place. So in other words, we have a daily market mover. For instance, today we had a daily market mover for natural gas. Okay, let me show you the actual daily market mover. And let me just pull it up here. I'm going to do this in a slightly different way just because I like to keep this really current. So our members today, they received this report, and it's a multiple page report sometimes because today we had natural gas, but before natural gas, we were also trading the unemployment claims. This is actually last week's, but it's okay. We had PPI last week. Natural gas, our setup is the same as it was last week. So our daily report shows you the market that you're trading, natural gas. Of course, it has the name of the report. It's got the time of the report, Eastern time and Pacific. It has a forecast on it. In other words, what they're expecting. The natural gas storage report is how much natural gas is in storage. And that report, when it comes out, that's a Thursday report. When that natural gas report comes out, trust me, it's going to move the natural gas index dramatically. And you want to know about that index. You want to know what might be a possible way to trade it. You want to know what might be some of the dangers in trading it. That's why we have text on our daily report. In other words, we have advice. We have a 6 recent trade results. Okay. Now, it's important to understand that these results in this little mini journal on the DMM, the Daily Market Mover, represent what would have happened in the last 6 weeks if you used this exact setup. Okay. That's our recommended trade setup that is on every daily market report. there's a daily trade setup. Now, sometimes we might come into the trade room and realize we might have to adjust our setup a little bit today. The market might be so volatile, we might have to increase the stop, or the market might be so consolidated, we might have to shrink our targets. Things change. The markets are not always the same every second. You need to be flexible. And that's really the main crux of why I'm here today, is to talk about our trade room. I'm going to get into that later, but the trade room is so important because you have the report, we go over it in the trade room, but we might have a bracket that maybe our bracket needs to be a tiny bit bigger. And then a lot of people say, well, what's a bracket? I don't even know what a bracket is. So a bracket is, let me show you. It's always good to see it. So here's what a bracket is. You come into our trade room, you get a report, right? And our report says bracket 8. So what does that mean? A lot of people, they're new, they never traded before, they might not know. The bracket is how many ticks above or below the current price do we want to put our orders? The current price shows up in between the brackets. So our daily report has a bracket, and that's only one type of trade that we do. We have, this is a breakout trade, natural gas. And let me actually show you the trade. I actually traded natural gas live today, and it was a tough trade too. It was a little bit scary, and I'll show you why. So let me show you the trade, and then I could explain what a bracket is. And we took this trade live in our trade room, you know, in front of a lot of members. That's what we do. Our trade room is the hub of our company. It's where virtually everything that we do takes place. So let me find it. Here's the setup, the actual trade room video that I recorded. Let me just make sure my sound is off. Okay, so this was actually the video that our trade room members are seeing. They come in and I show them how to set up our software using the settings in the DMM. We can transfer them into our software. Yes, you can still trade without our software. And then I'm showing two screens when I trade natural gas. And this morning, natural gas was kind of scary. If you notice, it was really shooting up and down significantly, not just 1 or 2 ticks, but 10 and 15 ticks before the trade. I was a little bit concerned that maybe our bracket wouldn't be big enough and that, you know, it might fill before the news comes out, which we don't want to happen. But so natural gas was getting ready to come out, the report. I was down like $175 when I got to the natural gas report. I was trading 2 contracts. The natural gas report is getting ready to come out 10:30. I'm 15 seconds away. So what you're going to see happen is my brackets will show up. You see, natural gas is really chopping around before the report. It was a little bit nerve-wracking. Our brackets, those are my orders. I got filled. I thought for sure I was going to be stopped out. It was reversing on me. I started shrinking my target to try and manage the trade so I could get out with a profit. And I combined my 2 orders, and then natural gas. Watch what happens, because it was not a perfect trade. It hit my target that I had shrunk down. I made $110. The trade's over, and then it shot down. If I would have just sat still and done nothing, it would have hit both my targets. But you don't know that, you know, at the exact moment you're taking a trade. The important thing is, in our trade, we show you how to use the reports. We talk about the previous reports, and you see the truth. Everything that really happens in real life to a real trader happens in the trade room. It's not always, well, this is a perfect trade. Natural gas, yes, I made $110, but it was far from a perfect trade. And that's trading. Many trades are not perfect, and you need to know how to deal with them when that is the case. So the daily market mover, to recap, is the second important element in our system. Free schedule, daily market mover, the daily trade reports, and as I was showing you, it has multiple events in one event, in one report. Last week we had natural gas, WASD, PPI, and Thursday jobless claims. And we have different types of daily reports depending on what's going on in the market. So that is a real daily report. That was a very current one, shipped, emailed out last week. And again, very important to realize we're trading on our own schedule. This was actually today's natural gas storage report and the DMM. To me, the most important thing on the daily report is the trade setup. It has the bracket, the time you should activate, get your orders on the chart, whether you should cancel the trade if it doesn't fill in a certain amount of time. We have recommended targets and we have a recommended stop. Okay, and then in the text, we talk about why the profits, we think those targets will work, and that you could try to move your stop to break even if it hits a target, because natural gas does have a tendency to reverse. In fact, this morning was unbelievable in natural gas. The third element, the important element in our system, is our software. We call it JOBB Software. It's a legacy. It's a 10-year anniversary thing. Because we've changed our name. We're called 10-Minute Trades now, but we used to be called JOBB. And we've kept the name of our software JOBB because it's something that, what's the word? It's emotional. We care about our legacy. You know, we were trading breakout trades and we were trading natural gas 10 years ago. And our software allows you to semi-automate your trades. It does so many things now, and I'm not going to get heavily into our software today because that's not the focus of this webinar. I will tell you this, that in about 2 to 3 weeks, our programmer has our new version. We have a very big upgrade to our software coming out. In the past, since I got here, we've spent mega thousands of dollars upgrading our software, but we've turned our software into a news event trading software into a more generalized discretionary and news trading software. We trade market opens, we trade ranges, we trade colored zones, we trade breakouts. We trade earnings. All of these things are represented in our software now, and they're going to be even better represented in the upgrade. It's really exciting. I can't wait to see the upgrade. It's like 2 to 3 weeks away. Our software helps you to reduce inconsistency in your trading, your anxiety, forgetfulness, fear. When you can semi-automate entries in a news trade, it's very helpful because a news trade can take place quickly, so it's nice to be able to semi-automate it. And the reason I say semi-automate, because sometimes you'll want to manually exit a trade on your own. You may not want your software always to take you out of the trade, because sometimes a manual intervention will allow you to increase the size of your profits. So it's nice to be able to do both. And most programs that are automated do let you do that, and our software is no different. The entries are great to automate, and then it's really nice to also, look, if you hit all your targets, instantly you're going to be automated. The trade's going to end. But it's nice to also be able, what if you have a 20-tick target and the market decides it wants to go 50 ticks? Sometimes you can get in there and make your target bigger. So those are issues that you want to be able to do. So it helps you by helping you to become less distracted. You're not so overwhelmed with the market when you have software helping you. Hopefully you'll become less reckless. You won't complicate things as much, but software is a big, big aid. And then the real reason that I'm here today, because to me, the key to everything that we do is our software, our trade room. The software that we teach you how to use in our trade room, the DMMs that we show you how to use in our trade room, the schedule that we're always going over in our trade room. Why do our members love us? I believe our members love us because they can spend time in our trade room. And also one of the folks in the webinar is saying, and using JOBB software, you don't have to be a chart genius regarding analysis. Our software helps you to know where to enter and exit. Um, why do our members love us? They absolutely love us because of the power of the information that takes place in our trade room. I love our trade room. And we always laughingly say that everything happens here. And we use very professional trade room software. People can chat with each other. People can see our screens. We have a folder where we can put important files. We can play music. If I want to torture you, I'll play you my music and make you listen to it while we're trading. It's a place where, yes, we're serious, but we're also human. And we know that trading, sometimes you just want to talk about, what's the last great show you watched last night. It's not just every second focusing on trading. And we know that trading is super important, but, this is our lives. The trade room is where, if you're worried about something, people know how to help. And the trade room is an awesome place. I love the trade room. Everything flows from our trade room at 10-minute trades. We read the current markets. We're constantly coaching. Our members are really great about helping each other. They're always helping each other. We're always watching previous recordings. And that's important because what's the key to what we do? So what we do is, let's say we're getting ready for an earnings trade room, okay? Because for us, earnings just ended. We trade earnings using futures because we found a really cool way to trade earnings using futures and the Ninja Trader platform. Let me give you an example. So in our trade room, people come in and learn about how to put on our earnings setup. So for instance, we traded Apple in the 2 quarters ago. We traded Apple and we had a really nice Apple earnings trade. $970 in just a couple of seconds. I think it was a 1-second trade. And I have, of course, I have the video of the trade here. So let me show you the video. And all of this, the importance of this is that it took place in our trade room. So here was last quarter, not the most recent quarter, the quarter before. Trading Apple in our trade room. 10 seconds before Apple comes out, we have tools that we explain what our tools are. I'm also logged in to Thinkorswim. I'm logged into Ninja Trader. I'm looking at the Thinkorswim stock price. I'm looking at the NQ futures, and I'm getting ready for Apple's earnings to come out. I'm going to get pulled into the market when Apple's earnings come out. Boom. I got pulled into the NQ market. I made $970 in our trade room after I explained to everybody in the room how we're going to do it. Again, the importance of the trade room. And then we had the next quarter. What was the date? April 28th. We were looking to trade Apple and Amazon, both in the same trade room. Amazon came out earlier that morning. And let's see what we got here. This was our Apple trade. It was a $1,700 trade. You can see it's a little hard to see. My profit is $23.36 that day. Apple's earnings were roughly $1,700. Amazon was the difference between $2,300 and $1,700. So we traded earnings in the room. So we watch. When we have a trade room, so next quarter we'll do Apple earnings again. We'll do Amazon earnings again. And we'll start pulling up older trade room videos so we can study the event. Because think about the way that we are doing things in our trade room. We're not necessarily looking at Elliott wave or Fibonacci retracements. For what we're doing, we're looking at, well, what did Apple's earnings do to the NQ the last time we traded them? We're looking at those events and how those events take place. And that's helping us to set up our trade for the current earnings. And that's exactly what we did with Apple's earnings. To give you another example, the other night, we had a trade that we were looking at. And again, remember, we have that weekly schedule, right? So on our weekly schedule, it said we were going to have a trade room for Australia's wage price index, okay? No one even knows what that is. What is the wage price index? And Jeff is asking, do we trade the ES? Yes, Jeff, we do trade the ES. Currently, we have a few trades for the ES, and we're always testing the ES. We've got some range trades for the ES. I like the NQ a little bit better at times. It moves much further, much faster. It's a little bit more exciting. But the ES sometimes is safer and quieter and calmer to trade. So we are always looking at ES trades. But our schedule, so getting back to the wage price index, people noticed on our schedule, hey, we've got this report. I never heard of this before. What is it? It's the wage price index. So if you came into our trade room, you're going to learn about, well, what is the wage price index? It's really just what it says. It's a report that gauges the Australian wage prices and whether they've been going up, going down. And so you know immediately, if you do a little research on this report, it's potentially an inflationary report. So it's a report that up until recently hasn't been moving the Australian market that we trade, which is the Australian dollar. We trade the Australian dollar futures on this report. So the wage price index comes out, and then what happens is, because it's an inflationary report, I totally expected it to move the Australian dollar pretty dramatically. So the people that joined me in the trade room the other night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, it was pretty late, got to trade and make money on that report. It went down, it shot down, and it went through all my targets on the Australian dollar. So when you come into our trade room, you're going to watch the previous recordings, discuss and analyze the trade setup, learn how to enter trades with or without software, learn about preserving your account, practice the setups, learn how you can practice the setups also, okay? And it's a fantastic way to trade with us on a schedule in our trade room. So Juan, I see your message that you have to leave. I'll make sure that you get an email of what we're offering today. Absolutely. So in our trade room, all of the things that we do take place. We go over our schedule. We go over our daily report. We watch previous reports. We go over software. We talk about music. We talk about life. We analyze the trade. We hang in the trade room after the trade, because look at our current schedule. Our current schedule, we spend, an hour or an hour and a half sometimes in the trade room. We call ourselves 10-minute trades because our trades only last no longer than 10 minutes, almost all of them. But for instance, today, I was in the trade room. We started with the gold open. We had unemployment claims in Philly Fed. That was at 8:30. The gold open was at 8:20. 9 o'clock was the oil open. 10 o'clock was existing home sales. And then at 10:30, we had natural gas. That's a pretty long trade room. We don't normally spend that much time in the trade room, but there were a lot of events. Most of our events are over in a couple of minutes. So we're talking, educating, going over the markets. People are talking about other trades they're doing, learning about different things. It's a tremendously educational place, our trade room. The education is non-stop, and we've been doing this for years. It's fun. I mean, it's also fun. You learn how to make money. Our members, the great thing about our members is they're often showing me ways that they're making money that I haven't thought about. Our trades, many of the trades that we take flow from our members to us and then back to you. Sometimes a member in the trade room will say, hey, did you see the way the NQ is moving at 3 o'clock every afternoon? And then we'll do the research, we'll find the setup, and we'll bring it back. A lot of times our members will say, I see the market's moving at 3 o'clock, but I don't know what to do with it. And we'll do the research. Our team will look at it, find a setup if it's valid, and then we'll come back and institutionalize it. It's the wrong word, but you know what I mean. We'll stabilize it in a way that we have a setup that you could trade 3 o'clock in the afternoon if it's valid. In the trade room, we have last second trade setup changes if necessary. Very important. In our trade room, we have extra setups, extra trades for trade room members. We have earnings workshops. We have quarterly grain reports. Let me show you a couple of earnings trades because earnings were great this last quarter. We had a terrible Facebook trade, but almost every other trade that we took was a big winner this past quarter. Apple was a $1,700 trade. Now, let me make sure I can show you the video. So give me 1 second because I have it. Like I said before, Amazon traded the same day as Apple, but it was a very different time of day. And that's very important. You don't want to be trading earnings when two companies are trading the exact same time. Do you follow me? If Apple's releasing their earnings at exactly the same times that Google is releasing their earnings, it may be a little bit difficult because you might have conflicting elements that will damage the trade. How would you know that if you didn't come into our trade room and learn this stuff with us? Let me show you the Apple trade. It was awesome this quarter. I love trading Apple. Something happened where the market has given us a great gift. Apple, if you understand and know the way that Apple releases their earnings, and here's a trick that we teach our members in our trade room. It used to be that when Apple did their earnings, the market was closed right before they got ready to release. Apple generally releases their earnings at 4:30, very close to 4:30. If you know the NQ, remember what I said, we're trading the NQ index to trade Apple's earnings. We're not trading the stock, we're trading futures using NinjaTrader to trade Apple's earnings. I'm trading the NQ, but I'm watching Apple stock because I want to know when those earnings come out. And I also, obviously, we need to know what time those earnings come out. Prior to about 6 or 7 months ago, the indexes were closed from 4:15 to 4:30. What that means to you as a trader, it means you couldn't put orders on a chart right before Apple's earnings came out because the market wasn't open and orders weren't being transmitted to the exchange. So how would you know that? If you weren't an expert, if you weren't real hip about earnings, you might not know that unless you came to our trade room. You might be trying to trade Apple's earnings at 429 and not understanding why price wasn't moving. You might not have realized that the markets were closed. So the market gave us a gift, though, because now the markets aren't closed anymore between 4:15 and 4:30. So what that means is we can put our orders on the chart before Apple is ready to release. We know from history that we can usually trust Apple to release their earnings on time. Earnings came out for Apple. It was a $1,700 trade, 4 seconds. And I believe the market has helped us to trade Apple successfully, especially the last 2 quarters were both mega trades for us. 1,700 last quarter, which was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and $970 last quarter. In the trade room, we show our members how to do it. We show our members, how I do it. I look at Thinkorswim. I use NinjaTrader. I use our software to help us. It's a great thing that you can learn in our trade room. Actual screenshots from our members. We've shown all this in all our webinars. Tons of screenshots. And in fact, let me show you. I've got a member screenshot here, and just looking at it, I realized that his account number is on it. Let me just remove his account number. It'll take me half a second. But I want to show you his screenshot because it's a mega $1,000 screenshot. And he traded Apple earnings with us. This is a real screenshot of one of our members. I hope you can see that, but he was profitable over $2,000. And I'm not making it up. These are real screenshots. We've had members make $4,500 on oil trades, $620 on jobs reports, $1,000 on ADP reports, real trades, trading earnings, trading Facebook, trading all sorts of things. So we made an offer today that is better than anything we've ever done. Now, here's the thing. Keep in mind that if you're currently a monthly member in our trade room, we will give you all the bonuses that everybody who signs up for our trade room today is receiving. You will get every bonus. We love our members, and we would never want a member to feel like they're not getting the best deal. Now, also keep in mind that when a company like us has these webinars, why do we do this? We do this because we want more people to join with us. We want to help you learn how to trade. We want to increase the amount of people that share information with each other. We want to create a supportive and incredible community because everybody knows that trading is hard and it takes a community to learn how to do it best. You don't want to just follow me and do what I do because I'm not a perfect person. I'm not the perfect trader. But when there's 100 people in the room, you're going to get more and more different ways of learning how to trade. So what we did is we came up with a deal that you can't beat. And also because we wanted it to be fun. The regular price of our trade room is $297 a month. If you go to our website, that's what it costs to join our trade room, okay? Now, obviously, we're not charging $297 today. We have our 10-year anniversary. Like I said, we wanted it to be fun, so we brought back our legacy website. If you go to www.jointhetraderoom.com, www.jointhetraderoom.com, the first month of your trade room is $10. It'll auto renew to a member price of $97 a month before that, but you can cancel anytime you want. Just send us an email up to the day that you're going to be billed. Preferably, if you're going to cancel, send it to us the day before so we don't have to do refunds with our credit card processor. You all know that that's a pain. It costs businesses money. $10 to join our trade room. But I'm not done. I'm just getting started here. We've been in business for 10 years. We're still here trading so similar to the way we used to trade and with a mega amount of new different types of trade that we do. Like I said, the FANG earnings reports. We trade Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Intel, Tesla, using NinjaTrader and the NQ futures. It's a fun way to trade earnings. $10, www.jointhetraderoom.com. Don't forget, it will renew to $97 a month after the $10, but you can cancel anytime, no problem. Sign up now, today, and we will give you 2 spectacular fast action bonuses for life. Now, for life, let me preface for life, for the life of your subscription. Stay in the room with us, and you will keep getting these bonuses for free, okay? Bonus number 1, our daily market mover reports. We charge for these reports. They're not free. At least 4 days a week. We have a report that we email out to our members, 1 to 3 reports a day. You saw today's daily report. I can show it to you again. It has multiple trade setups, okay? And that doesn't include everything we're doing in the trade room. Don't forget, we've got earnings We've got opening trades. They don't all have daily reports. We have all sorts of other trading that we're doing. But just to give you an example, today we had natural gas and we had existing home sales. There were 2 setups today that people could take part in. Or a lot of people just watch and learn when they first start. So sign up now, $10 a month. I can't believe we're doing this. And we'll give you the daily market movers for free. But I also want to show you what the screen's going to look like, because like I said, it's our legacy. It's our legacy website. So www.jointhetraderoom.com, and I'm going to show you. Give me a second. I just want to show you what you're going to see when you go there. It's our legacy JOBB trade room. Everything that's going to happen is clear, okay? No secrets, no surprises, nothing, okay? It's a secure website. Go there, you'll sign up, and $10 a month. So the first amazing bonus, daily trade reports. If you keep your account alive, you'll get those daily trade reports until you leave us. If you don't leave, we'll continue. It'll be free DMMs for as long as you keep your subscription active. Bonus number 2, we will include our trade earnings masterclass. It shows you exactly the method that we use, the methodology, how to trade the earnings using our software, but it's also how to trade the earnings if you don't have our software. And again, if you come into the trade room, the idea is we want you very much to come in our trade room and learn how to do it in the room. Because whether you have software, don't have software, it's the way you can learn how to trade events. Obviously, we think our software adds something special. We're going to have an incredible deal going forward when our new software comes out, and it's literally weeks away, no joke, for real. The programmer has it. Our earnings masterclass is easily worth $1,000. You saw 2 Apple trades. Both of them together were $2,600 in earnings. And I'm not trading 10 contracts, way smaller than that. So you can join our trade room today, www.jointhetraderoom.com. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal deal. The deal is going to end Memorial Day. So we will be torturing you with emails for the rest of your life until you join for $10. It ends Memorial Day, and we only have so many people that can fit in our trade room. It's not unlimited in size. These are some popular questions that people are always asking. How do you get coaching and support? Obviously, come into the trade room, right? Doesn't take rocket scientists to figure that one out. We're in the room at least 10 hours a week, probably more. Other members will help you in the chat. We actually are starting up a Discord room. We already have it. It's not our personal room, but it's a room where all members in the trade room are starting to use. I'm going to try and hijack that room and rename it a 10-minute trades room if they let me. Either way, it's there. People are using it. And you can hang out in the trade room. Also, we're in the room, especially in mornings. We have evening trades. We have afternoon trades. Next week we've got FOMC minutes. And of course, you can get help by emailing us, help@10minutetrades.com. What about our software? We've got a great opportunity coming down the road. As soon as that new version is out, if you want to use our software with us, we're going to have that opportunity. Absolutely. So I showed you some slides. That's weird. So my slides are acting crazy. Let me get back to them. Bear with me. And I'll just put them right back up. Sorry about that. And I'll shoot through it. So www.jointhetraderoom.com, $10. I don't think I could ever come up with a better deal than that. How do you get coaching and support? We went over that, and that's the end of my slides, I guess. For some reason, the slide's not working the way it should. So let me just end on our final slide, www.jointhetraderoom.com. I'll shoot forward to it. Any extra questions, folks, that you want to ask me before we move to our next presenters? I've got like 1 minute left. 1 minute left. If anybody wants to ask anything, I'm happy to answer for you. Do we support options? No. Our trade room and our software, we're only trading the NQ futures, so keep that in mind. NQ futures, we use the Ninja Trader platform. They were not option trades, they were futures trades, but we also watch the real stock price with Thinkorswim. That's one of the methodologies we use when we're trading earnings. The bracket setup, the one-click bracket setup, Jeff, is part of our software, but we do show people how to bracket a trade if they don't have our software. So Tom is asking, when is the new software coming out? Our new software is going to be available. Like I said, when I say that the programmer has it, the programmer has it. I would say that if you join our trade room, here's another phenomenal bonus of joining the trade room. I'm going to release our software early to let our members, if they want to, any member that wants to test the software will be allowed to test the software early. And if you're a trade room member, that will be available if you're a trade room member. So, I mean, for $10, I mean, how can you lose? Just the information you would get learning how to trade the open is worth the price of admission. Learning how we trade the NQ open or the gold open or the oil open, we trade those. How to trade one earnings report. Tom, you're asking, what is it? I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry. What is what? Any last questions? So folks, I'm getting ready to turn you over to one of my favorite people in this business. So I don't see any last questions. So I'll just say it one more time. www.jointhetraderoom.com. Oh, is it automated? Tom was asking. So Tom, it's semi-automated. Sometimes our software will be fully automated if it hits all your targets, but you can automate it so that your entries are automated. We have multiple methodologies for entering. You can enter with buttons manually. You can enter with ranges, with zones, automated, all different ways depending on the setup. We have breakouts, we have earnings trades, we have market open trades. We have something new and exciting that we're releasing called the magnet trade. I'm really excited about that. And you can learn a heck of a lot about all of this stuff for free, I'm telling you right now. And you could watch us use all of the tools that we have available for just $10 for a month. www.jointhetraderoom.com. I want to thank everybody so much.